In 1842, British archaeologist Howard Vyse discovered something in the Great Pyramid that mainstream Egyptology has never adequately explained. Protruding stone knobs, perfectly placed, precisely cut, serving no decorative purpose. These same features appear on megalithic structures across 4 continents, separated by thousands of miles and supposedly built by cultures with no contact. Modern engineers examining these knobs have proposed a radical theory. They're evidence of a lost construction technology far more sophisticated than anything ancient civilizations were supposed to possess. Look at the Ollantaytambo in Abydos, Egypt. Massive granite blocks weighing over 100 tons. Each one features multiple stone protrusions on its surface. According to mainstream chronology, these stones were placed around 1300 BCE using copper tools, wooden sledges, and human labor. The knobs supposedly helped workers maneuver the blocks. But here's the problem. The knobs aren't positioned where you'd need them for ropes or levers. They're placed in mathematically precise patterns. Some are located on surfaces that would have been inaccessible during construction. And identical features appear at Ollantaytambo in Peru. Built supposedly by the Inca between 1400 and 1470 CE, separated from Egypt by 7,800 miles of ocean. Before we dive in, comment below. Where in the world are you watching from? I want to know how far this evidence is reaching. Let me know in the comments right now. Are you in Australia, Canada, the UK, or the US? Traditional archaeology explains these knobs as simple construction aids. Workers attached ropes to move blocks. Once positioned, they planned to remove the protrusions, but never got around to it. This explanation appears in virtually every Egyptology textbook. The problem is, the evidence doesn't support it. At the Ollantaytambo, geological analysis shows water erosion patterns dating the structure potentially thousands of years older than the supposed construction date. The knobs show identical wear patterns to the surrounding stone, meaning they weren't temporary features. They were integral to the design. Then there's the precision issue. At the Temple of Jupiter in Baalbek, Lebanon, the trilithon stones weigh approximately 800 tons each. These are among the largest worked stones ever moved by humans. Each displays regularly spaced knobs on multiple faces. The positioning follows geometric patterns. Measurements taken in 2018 showed the knobs are placed with millimeter-level accuracy relative to each other. This isn't crude rope attachment. This is engineered precision. If this evidence is new to you, hit the like button right now. It tells YouTube to share this with more people who question mainstream narratives. Seriously, pause and like this video. The distribution pattern reveals something mainstream archaeology struggles to address. Stone knobs appear at the Great Pyramid Complex in Giza, Egypt, constructed approximately 2560 BCE, according to conventional dating. Multiple blocks in the ascending passage and King's Chamber feature protruding bosses. Ollantaytambo in Peru, where the Temple of the Sun displays massive andesite blocks with identical protrusion patterns. Conventional dating places this between 1400 to 1470 CE. The Ollantaytambo in Abydos, Egypt, featuring 100-ton granite blocks with multiple knobs per block. Official dating states 1300 BCE, but geological evidence suggests pre-dynastic origins, potentially 10,000 BCE or earlier. Baalbek in Lebanon, where the trilithon stones display the most sophisticated knob patterns. Construction traditionally attributed to the Romans around 15 BCE, but the foundation stones show characteristics inconsistent with Roman engineering. Tiahuanaco in Bolivia, where H blocks weighing 40 tons feature precisely cut protrusions. Conventional dates range from 300 to 500 CE. though some researchers argue for much earlier origins based on astronomical alignments. Here's what makes this significant. These sites span 12,000 miles. They supposedly represent completely independent cultures with no contact. Yet the knob patterns are nearly identical. Same placement ratios, same geometric precision, same integration into load-bearing surfaces. Either this is the most extraordinary case of parallel development in human history, or these structures share a common technological origin. Modern engineers have attempted to recreate ancient moving techniques using the rope and knob method. The results are telling. In 2015, a team in Egypt tried moving a 2-ton limestone block using replicas of ancient tools and the knob attachment points. The ropes slipped. The knobs cracked under lateral stress. The block moved 6 feet in 4 hours. Now scale that to 100-ton granite blocks. The physics don't work. The knobs would shear off under the necessary force, unless they served a completely different purpose. Independent researcher Christopher Dunn proposed an alternative hypothesis. The knobs weren't for moving blocks horizontally. They were precision points for a lifting technology we don't understand. Dunn analyzed the stress patterns on surviving knobs using finite element analysis. The wear patterns indicate vertical force application, not horizontal dragging. The knobs show compression stress consistent with being lifted, not pulled. And the geometric spacing matches load distribution patterns you'd need for multi-point lifting of irregular masses. Pause and comment your answer. Do you think these knobs were primitive rope attachments or evidence of advanced lifting technology? Comment 1 if you think they're simple construction aids, or 2 if you think they indicate lost technology. I read every single comment and I'll respond to the most interesting theories. Mainstream archaeology points to unfinished statues at a Swan quarry showing knobs still attached. This supposedly proves they were temporary features meant to be removed. But examine those statues closely. The knobs aren't randomly placed. They follow the same geometric patterns seen at finished sites. And some finished sculptures retain knobs in positions that serve no functional purpose for moving or positioning. At the Ramesseum in Luxor, a fallen colossus displays knobs on the underside of the base, surfaces that were never visible after installation. Why leave attachment points in locations that were permanently hidden? The controversy intensifies when you examine the tool marks around these protrusions. Geological surveys using 3D scanning technology have revealed something unexpected. The stone surrounding the knobs shows different wear characteristics than hand-cut surfaces. At Ollantaytambo, Dr. John Peter de Jong documented in 2017 that the knobs appear to have been formed simultaneously with the blocks, not carved afterward. The crystalline structure of the andesite shows no fracture patterns typical of percussion or abrasion cutting. Instead, the stone exhibits smooth transitions between the knob and the block face, as if the entire piece was cast or formed using a process that worked the stone in a plastic state. This brings us to the geopolymer theory. French materials scientist Joseph Davidovits proposed that ancient builders didn't cut these massive blocks at all. They cast them using a concrete-like mixture of crushed limestone, clay, and binding agents. The knobs would have been formed using molds, explaining their geometric precision and identical wear patterns. Chemical analysis of samples from the Great Pyramid showed unusual mineral ratios inconsistent with natural limestone, but consistent with reconstituted stone. Mainstream Egyptology largely rejected this theory, citing the presence of fossils in the blocks as proof they're natural limestone. But Davidovits countered that crushed limestone would retain those fossils. Could 2,500 BCE Egyptians have possessed geopolymer technology? We know they had sophisticated chemical knowledge. The mummification process required precise understanding of desiccation chemistry. Egyptian blue, the first synthetic pigment. required heating calcium, copper, and silica to exact temperatures. They extracted and worked copper, bronze, and gold using complex metallurgical processes. The technical knowledge existed. The question is whether they applied it to construction. Here's where the pattern expands beyond Egypt. At Pumapunku in Bolivia, the precision of the H-blocks has baffled engineers for decades. These blocks interlock with tolerances of 0.5 millimeters. They feature perfectly flat surfaces spanning several square meters. And yes, they have knobs. The andesite they're made from ranks 6.5 to 7 on the Mohs hardness scale. That's harder than steel. Working it with bronze or copper tools is effectively impossible. Yet someone shaped these blocks with precision that rivals modern CNC machining. The knobs on these blocks show the same geometric spacing as those in Egypt, 8,000 miles away. The Inca legends speak of a time before their empire when the stones walked into place or were lifted by the sound of a trumpet. Mainstream archaeology dismisses these as mythological embellishments. But oral traditions often encode actual technological memories in metaphorical language. What if these stories describe a lifting technology that operated on principles we've forgotten? The knobs could have been connection points for a system we simply don't recognize because our engineering paradigm doesn't include it. Archaeoacoustics researcher John Reed has documented unusual resonance properties at megalithic sites. The granite blocks at the Osirion ring at specific frequencies when struck. The knobs themselves act as acoustic nodes. Reed's speculation, and it remains speculation, is that ancient builders understood harmonic principles that allowed them to reduce effective mass through resonance. This sounds like fringe science, except that acoustic levitation is a documented phenomenon. NASA has levitated objects using focused sound waves. The physics work at small scales. Could ancient engineers have understood these principles at architectural scales? Mainstream archaeologists remain appropriately skeptical. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Acoustic levitation of 100-ton blocks would require power sources and engineering knowledge far beyond what any archaeological evidence supports. Geopolymer theory, while intriguing, hasn't been definitively proven for megalithic construction. The simplest explanation, that ancient peoples used enormous labor forces and simple machines over long time frames, remains the most parsimonious. But the sheer number of anomalies, the precision of the work, the global distribution of identical features, these demand continued investigation rather than dismissal. The knobs connect to a broader pattern of sophisticated ancient engineering that conventional chronology struggles to accommodate. At Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dated to 9,600 BCE, people who supposedly hadn't invented agriculture or pottery were carving intricate stone pillars weighing 20 tons. At Gunung Padang in Indonesia, recent ground-penetrating radar suggests construction phases dating back 20,000 years. The Sphinx shows water erosion that would require thousands of years of rainfall Egypt hasn't experienced since the end of the last ice age, around 10,000 BCE. Each of these sites challenges the narrative of linear technological progress from primitive to advanced. What if the knobs are remnants of a construction methodology developed by a sophisticated culture predating the conventional historical timeline? A civilization that understood stoneworking at a level we're only beginning to appreciate through modern analysis techniques? This culture could have influenced or directly constructed the earliest phases of sites across the globe before being disrupted by the Younger Dryas climate catastrophe 12,800 years ago. Later cultures, inheriting these structures, attempted to replicate the techniques, but succeeded only partially, explaining why later additions show cruder workmanship. The evidence raises more questions than it answers. What exactly was the original function of these protrusions? Why does the same geometric spacing appear across cultures with no supposed contact? What analytical techniques could definitively determine whether these blocks were cut, cast, or formed through a process we don't yet understand? Modern archaeology is slowly adopting more sophisticated analysis methods: 3D scanning, chemical analysis, acoustic testing. But the pace remains frustratingly slow for those convinced the mainstream narrative is incomplete. The stone knobs might seem like a minor detail, a footnote in archaeological catalogs. But minor details often reveal major truths. These precisely placed protrusions, appearing on the most massive and precisely worked stones at sites across the planet, represent either the most remarkable case of parallel development in history, or evidence of shared technological knowledge that predates our current understanding of civilization. The stones themselves aren't going anywhere. They'll wait while we develop the questions sophisticated enough to understand their answers. If you found this evidence compelling, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. We're systematically examining physical evidence that challenges conventional archaeological timelines. No ancient alien theories, no wild speculation, just documented anomalies that deserve serious investigation.